Project Transformation is really big on 3 C's: church, children, and then college-age adults.
What is special about Project Transformation is that there is a place for everyone to plug in, because our mission is to transform communities through relationships.
There's just this aspect of community that you just don't get everywhere.
Takes a village. It just helps our children to understand we're not the only ones who are instilling the values in our home.
It builds that community for kids and makes them all the more comfortable in their faith.
Project Transformation was founded as an answer to the question, why are there no young people leading in the church? When people were brainstorming this idea on a napkin, summer camp in churches run by college students was the thing that they came up with. The anchor piece has always been young adults finding their voice in leadership. And of course, they're doing that at Project Transformation through our very specific lens of running literacy and social emotional learning based programs for children in churches.
In our local school districts, there has been such an emphasis on the need for family engagement and support in literacy and social emotional health and building relationships with the local community.
The first thing that got our attention was that it was at a church in our neighborhood. The second part of it was they were still wanting to educate them even in the summer.
As my kids started to go through the program, I noticed that they really looked forward to going back the following summers. They enjoyed it. You know, they talked about the people who were their teachers, and they talked about how they inspired them to go to school. Hunger for reading, it increased. They started reading a lot of books.
I don't like to read a lot. It's not my favorite thing to do. But in here, there's actually visitors, and I get to read at them and they listen.
They connect themselves with the book. They're like, oh my gosh, I went ice skating too. And I'm like, oh, the character in the book, this little mouse, is also ice skating.
There's empirical evidence that what we're doing in our summer program is giving kids more confidence to do better in school and to feel like they've got this.
I would see sparks in students. They'd get this smile on their face. They would love answering questions about God.
How we knew that they were really engaged was because they can tell us what they did in their day. We have movement minutes. Oh, we have the reading time. We got to read to a grandma. We have someone reading to us. We have snacks. That's important to my youngest.
Those moments helped me understand that this was more than just a camp for kids to just hang out and pass time, that it was really something that they were going to be able to use to develop themselves as people.
You get to experience get to be with new people, get out of your comfort zone, and just have fun with other people.
One of the great gifts of this ministry, right, is to be more deeply rooted and connected in the neighborhood. PT has created this opportunity for us as a church to shift from a church that does mission to a church that neighbors well.
One thing I love about Project Transformation is they kind of talk about all the different opportunities to serve and then let us discern as a church where we feel like we are able to serve based on our gifts and talents and congregations. We've got some great cooks in the church that make some homemade meals for the interns, donations of money and supplies and books. We also have done reading with children for a week in the summer.
All of a sudden, we've got a thriving partnership in which kids' lives are being changed, not just their educational outcomes, but their social emotional learning, faith formation, all of it together. I get to see and know the kids. I get to hear their stories. I get to meet their families. There's a delight and there's a joy and there's just an overwhelming watching kids thrive.
I've seen kids grow up in our program, graduate from high school, go to college, come back and be interns, and tell children that they've got this, they're gonna be rock stars.
I've been in the program since first or second grade. I wanted to pour back into the community like the interns did with me.
My oldest two have gone through the program themselves and then gone back to be leaders themselves. I have seen the growth in them.
It's fun. I love it. I love working with the kids. They help me bring out a different side of me that I never knew about. I really learn about myself.
Our work with young adults is unlike anything I have seen because we don't treat young adults like the person who's going to run the program or pull out the crayons or deal with the snotty noses. They are leading at the churches and they are building relationships with the children. They're building relationships with older adults through church relationships that they would not normally do. And they are the catalyst that brings it all together. And if we as a program can support them in their growth, that's how we change the world.
Our summer is 8 weeks long. Around week 6 or 7, we start seeing some lights click. It becomes, I know these kids and their families. I know this pastor and the congregation members of these churches. We understand the relationships piece a little bit more as time goes on.
Honestly, first impression was this is either going to be really fun or really crazy. And it turned out it was both. But I really enjoyed the community aspect of it. Because you're in such close proximities, you form relationships that you wouldn't normally form with others.
Our young adult interns live in intentional community while they're serving at Project Transformation, and they experience morning devotions together and have meals together and keep the house clean together and live life together.
We call it a bubble, PT bubble. People that I get to go to the gym with, people that I get to play basketball with, people that I can consider my family for the summer. I can have people to talk to if I've had a hard day at site because they're doing the same workload that I'm doing.
Project Transformation has provided me with a new perspective on the way I live and the way I interact with people. I've been able to grow every time. I've been able to learn every time.
I feel so at peace here. I feel so fulfilled. I feel like I belong. It definitely confirmed what I wanted to do and how I want to help out and who I want to help out.
Part of the ethos of what Project Transformation is helping people discern their calls and to grow into those.
PT alumni come with a deeper sense of who they are and what God's work is in the world.
You watch them slowly find their momentum and find their groove, and they find their own divine spark. And so now watching them get to do what they feel like they were called to do, sometimes it's just so hard to put words around because it's just that powerful.
2 people that were the first interns ever for Project Transformation are now in ministry and have come back, are now volunteers with PT here in a different chapter. I mean, that's a long-term effect, right?
It is a place where I found healing and a place where I found that not only do I belong, but I have a voice, and that matters, and what I do with that matters.
The world needs more kindness and the world needs more love. Truly, I feel like our vision is creating this organization that is rooted in love and pursues the equity of all, and it amplifies God's call.
We are creating room for these children, for young adults, volunteer, host church member, partner church member, and we are creating the space where they can feel valued and loved and accepted. We all need that today, and Project Transformation creates it.